What's up, people? Jade up here with my 2011 WWE Hell in a Cell review video. Going to be giving you guys match results, highlights of the night, and also my thoughts and opinions on everything that occurred at this show. And you just know I got a whole hell of a lot to say tonight, so just sit back, relax, check it out. Also, thumbs this video up, and if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click that subscribe button up there. Thanks. Also, this was a very eventful event, so make sure you share with me your opinions on the show down in the comment section below. First matchup of the night was Sheamus versus Christian. I knew going into this show that Christian was going to be no match for Sheamus, but he did put up a good fight. Actually, it looked like Christian took Sheamus to his limits. He thwarted some of his signature moves, even hit him with a couple of spears and tried to silence him with the kill switch a few times, but it wasn't enough. Towards the end of the match, Sheamus goes for the Celtic Cross. Christian counters that, then sets up Sheamus for the kill switch, but Sheamus counters that. Christian tries to run towards Sheamus while he's in the corner, but Sheamus jumps out of the way. Christian turns around, and he's greeted with a bro kick. Sheamus goes for the pin and wins the match. Sheamus has been on the roll lately, but this was no easy victory at all. He definitely had to fight for it in a very competitive and very entertaining match. Huge fans of both guys, and they reinforced just why tonight. By the way, during the entrances of that match, the Miz and R-Truth returned to WWE, but this time it wasn't in the ring. It was in the audience. They showed up with tickets, and they ended up being removed by security, but that wouldn't be the last time we saw the Miz and R-Truth tonight. Stay tuned. It gets good. Next up, it was Sin Cara versus Sin Cara. Shocker, Sin Cara wins the match. Another shocker, the crowd was dead as hell. It wasn't exactly the botched squared. I'm sure a lot of people thought it would be. They did have some nice spots. Wasn't exactly that crisp, but I digress. The problem was, at least for me, I just didn't care. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people watching this video right now, you don't care either, and a lot of people in that audience, they didn't care either, because that's why they didn't react to like 99% of the damn match. Yeah, they did some impressive stuff, but what's the point? What the hell is this stuff that happened down in Mexico where Mexico's identity was stolen or something like that? JR mentioned the whole situation, and then he said they have personal issues where we don't know all of the details. Nobody saw a problem with that. No one happened to think maybe we should let the viewers know what the fuck is going on. Like, are you fucking serious? Really? But yeah, back to the match. There were a couple of points where both guys were mirroring the other's movements and trying to one-up their counterpart. Had some high-flying action, like a nice crossbody from the top rope onto Black Sin Cara, Sin Cara 2, whatever the hell you want to call him, from the original Sin Cara. And that's the one that ended up winning the match. Sin Cara blew. He hit a sunset bomb on the other one, pinned him. The match was over with. As far as my thoughts on the match, it was nice in some parts, shaky in others, with the storyline about as solid as a bowl of jello. Like we all know, we all can see, we got two people walking around in the same damn mask saying that they are both Sin Cara, but what's the story behind it? Like I don't get it, and I was disconnected from it, and the crowd in attendance, they were disconnected from it also. And yeah, this basically reminds me of the last pay-per-view just 2 weeks ago, Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase. They had a solid match, but no heat with the storyline. And this one, you had, the match wasn't even as solid as Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase, with an even worse storyline behind it. So imagine what you get as a result. So, yeah, with all of that being said, I cannot give this match a passing grade. The tag team titles were on the line next, with Air Boom defending versus Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger. This was a pretty entertaining match, and I'm glad that WWE has decided to revive tag team wrestling. The division as a whole still needs work, but I do acknowledge and give credit for the effort that they have put in to get the belts to a point where they're not afterthoughts, and people do look forward to them being featured. And that's due in part to Kofi, Kingston, and Bourne, who ended up retaining their titles tonight. Due to an underhanded move by Jack Swagger, with him pulling down the ropes and letting Kofi Kingston fly out of the ring, he and Ziggler took control of most of the match. Kofi got the hot tag in on Bourne. He jumps in the ring, gets the best of his opponents before they attempt to double team him, and that's what actually led to their defeat, as Bourne hit Swagger with the Hurricanrana while Swagger was on the turnbuckle. Kofi holds Ziggler back as Bourne gets a pin on Swagger. gets the 1, 2, 3, and they retain their championship. Like I said, this match was entertaining, with Air Boom looking more and more impressive. Even with all of the tension building up between Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler, they did gel well as partners tonight, and I would like to see more of them as a tag team because they did have a good outing, even though they ended up losing. Next up, Mark Henry versus Randy Orton in the Hell in a Cell for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this is a match that I was waiting to see. I really wanted to see this one all because of Mark Henry, and I wanted to see what he was going to do to Randy Orton. He ended up winning the match, but I still came away disappointed. Mark Henry has been so great as champion, I didn't want there to be any let up on him at all. I want him to steamroll through WWE, pedal to the damn metal. In this match, a win just wasn't enough for me. I wanted him to torture Randy Orton, maim him, annihilate and obliterate him, rip both his arms out the damn socket and beat him with his own arms. Okay, maybe I'm going a little bit too far. That's a little overboard. Okay, just one arm, just one. Well, apparently that was just a little bit too much to ask. Henry, he did dominate Orton and work him over pretty well during the match, with Orton getting some offense of his own, but my issue was with what happened after the final bell rang. As far as the match itself goes, love the part where Henry, he like slammed Randy Orton's back on one side of the cage, then slammed his back on the other side, then slammed it on the turnbuckle. Then he also threw like steel steps right at Randy Orton's head like it was a paper ball, but Randy jumps out of the way. Then Randy, he sees this little, you know, sliver, this little couple of seconds where he can get the best of Mark Henry, and he uses that time to his advantage. He goes into his little signature move set, and it culminates with him hitting an RKO on Henry. He goes for the pin, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. It's all over, but Mark Henry kicks out of the RKO and the match continues. Orton then goes for the punt, but Mark Henry jumps up before he can finish. He hits him with the World's Strongest Slam, pins him. 1, 2, 3, match over and done with. Mark Henry retains his World Heavyweight Championship. Then at that point, I'm like, okay, I want to see more. This can't be the end of it, because it looked like Mark Henry was walking away, but he goes to induct Randy Orton into the Hall of Pain like we've seen him do with so many others. But this time with Randy Orton, oh no, it does not happen. He was all set up with his legs situated in the chair with Mark Henry going up top, but Randy Orton, he moves out of the way. Then that allows him the opportunity to grab the chair, and he starts attacking Mark Henry with the chair himself. Mark Henry gets away where he can get out of the ring. He goes walking up the ramp. Randy Orton runs out of the ring, starts attacking him with the chair. He's slamming the chair on Mark Henry continuously, but then that one shot, Mark Henry blocked it, and you know what he did at this point? He ran like a bitch. Yeah, he runs. Mark Henry, the same dude that whooped Randy Orton's ass 2 weeks ago, the same dude that's putting so many guys out of action, he ends up running from Randy Orton. And how Orton found the energy to attack Mark Henry, how he found the energy and strength to attack Mark Henry after Mark Henry just handed Orton his ass in the Hell in a Cell, I do not know. But what I do know is I didn't like it at all. Exactly 14 days ago, Mark Henry mopped the floor with Randy Orton. Now he's running from him. Maybe I overstated things just a little bit in my expectations for this match, but they didn't have to make Mark Henry look like a punk ass. I'm not saying he's ruined at this point, but it surely didn't do any favors for him at all. And as far as I'm concerned, it was more important to make Henry look dominant than it was to make Randy Orton look dominant. But obviously, WWE sees things differently. Next up, we had an impromptu Intercontinental Championship match. Cody Rhodes comes down to the ring in a suit. He puts the current Intercontinental Championship into a paper bag. Then he brings back the classic design. I thought the look of the belt was great, and it really fit with the whole mold of what they're trying to make Cody Rhodes into. And I really hope that they are actually getting him to that point where he does bring back prestige and tradition to that championship. So we'll see how that goes. Since we're bringing back old designs, why don't we get rid of that ugly ass WWE Championship belt? I really wish they would get rid of that thing, because the whole bling bling, yeah, what up though, that whole era died out years ago. Like, that fad is dead and gone. But WWE, the last ones to the party, and they still have that damn thing. Like, come on now, it's about time that we retire it. I would say bring back the Undisputed Championship. I love the design of that belt, because it looked classic, but then again, it had a modern feel to it, and was simple yet not boring, and I know a lot of you guys love that circular eagle belt that they used during the Attitude Era, but for me, my favorite design for a World Championship was the Undisputed Championship. But, you know, I digress. Back to Cody Rhodes. He was in the ring and he was talking about how he would defend that title any place, anytime, anywhere, and somebody took those words very literally, because then we got the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations, John. I sound like I have laryngitis. He comes down to the stage and he says that Cody, you know, he wants to defend the belt anytime. Why not right now? There we go. Intercontinental Championship match, John Morrison versus Cody Rhodes. Even though I'm a fan of both guys, I didn't want to see this match happen at all because I was fearful of the ending either way. Because if John Morrison won, that means that Cody Rhodes' reign as champion is over, and like I said, I wanted to see where this thing goes. If Cody won, that would mean that John Morrison's stock is so low, he got beat by a guy who looked like he just walked out of church service. And the latter ended up happening. John Morrison goes for the flying chuck, Rhodes ducks out of the way, gets the roll up on Morrison, and the 3 count. Wasn't even set to be a legit match with both guys running at full capacity, so I wasn't expecting much, but it did have a nice bit of action, and this was just an embarrassing outing for Morrison. He did get some offense in, but it was set up to be that Cody Rhodes was unprepared while John Morrison was ready to go, and he still lost. Morrison, you got your ass whooped by a dude in church shoes. If that isn't a sign that you're low on the totem pole, then I don't know what is. After the match, they go to Triple H backstage being warned that Miz and R-Truth were still in the building. He runs to see where they are, and they actually were attacking the tag team champions, and once again, they are removed by security. Still not the last time that we'll see them. Kelly defended the Divas Championship up next in an unsuccessful bout against Beth Phoenix. This feud looked like it was going somewhere promising, but it's kind of like one of those birthday balloons. All of the air seeps out, and it's a lot less useful and enjoyable than it was before. This match was more of the same from these two. Beth Phoenix with the strength, Kelly with the tenacity, but the result this time was different. Beth Phoenix finally wins, but it wasn't even on her own merit. Beth had Kelly in that same 6 submission move that Natalya has been using lately. Kelly grabs the ropes. The ref forces Beth to break the hold, and while the ref was messing around with Beth, Natalya ends up hitting Kelly over the head with the microphone. Then that allows Beth to pick up Kelly. She hits her with the glam slam, pins her. She finally gets a win over Kelly, and also the Divas Championship. But at this point, I'm like, whatever. Like, did she really need Natalya? Like, this big, strong, and powerful, pin-up strong diva of doom, Beth Phoenix, did she really need Natalya to interfere for her to finally get the win over Kelly? And I can't even really say, oh, it's about time, because to be completely honest, it's not about time. Hell, the time had come and gone already. Finally, the main event of Hell in a Cell, the WWE Championship match, Alberto Del Rio, CM Punk, John Cena. This match was absolutely amazing. I mean, match of the year, unquestionably, for one reason and one reason only. Yeah, CM Punk had a little blood on him, so that's an automatic 5 stars, and I made sure, I checked in my internet smart manual. It says anytime you see blood in a match, automatic 5 stars, so there you go. Anyways, Del Rio, he looked great during this match. He was very dominant. I would probably vote him as MVP, and while all 3 guys took a ton of abuse, CM Punk, he definitely took the most. At varying points in this match, I thought it was like a one-on-one contest between Alberto Del Rio and Cena, because they were in the ring, you know, competing with each other for the most part. I could tell that CM Punk, he pulled the Sting a few times, and that was an inside joke to all of my vintage viewers, all of my vintage JW viewers. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it basically fit with everything that was going on, because he got slammed into the side of the cell multiple times, thrown into the steel steps, attacked with chairs, even got pushed off to the top rope and crashed through a table. After Punk got put through the table, Cena locks in the STF on Del Rio. Ricardo Rodriguez gets a key, unlocks the cell, jumps in, causes it a distraction. Cena breaks the submission, and Ricardo, he conveniently drops the steel pipe. Cena grabs him, AAs him out of the cage. Then Del Rio grabbed that same pipe, attacked John Cena. Then Cena falls out of the cage, and Alberto Del Rio proceeds to lock the cage once again. So now we have Alberto Del Rio and CM Punk still in the cage. John Cena out. So we're basically guaranteed a new WWE champion. So at that point, John Cena is a non-factor in the match because he's trying to fight to get back in the cage, but to no avail. And I guess we finally found John Cena's kryptonite, the Hell in a Cell, because he became a non-factor in the match at that point. And with Del Rio, after going back and forth with Punk for a bit, Del Rio attacks him with the pipe also. He pins him. Then he reclaims the WWE Championship. Seriously, this was a good match, and I'm just saying good, and that's not a word that's supposed to be attached to a Hell in a Cell match. Like, it's supposed to blow me away, and this match did not blow me away at all. The best part of it was Cena getting locked out of the cage and failing to get back in, and just so happens the interesting stuff didn't happen until after the match ended, because the cell started to lift up, and it lifted up just enough for John Cena to run under it, get in the ring, and try to attack Alberto Del Rio. But then you got two guys out of nowhere, two guys in black hoodies. They run under the cell also, and they just started whooping ass. The cell then lowered again, and it basically locks everybody in there, and the two guys turn out to be the Miz and R-Truth. Told you that wasn't the last time that we were going to see them. We see them after the main event, and they lay everybody to waste. When I say they whooped everybody's ass, they whooped everybody's ass, from Punk, Cena, Del Rio, to the referees, even the cameraman. They had everybody laid out, and that was a great shot of R-Truth attacking the cameraman while the camera was on him, and you can see the camera falling down to the ground. That was a great shot. I love that. And it got to a point where everybody in the ring was laid out except the Miz and R-Truth, and the whole locker room comes down the ramp, and they're trying to tear down the walls of the cell, and they're trying to get in, but they can't because it's all locked down, and the doors didn't open up until they got a bolt cutter out. They cut the chain on the doors, and at that point you had the police holding everybody back. They wouldn't let anybody in the cage. They go into, well, they wouldn't let anybody into the cell. They go into the cell, and then you have Miz and R-Truth. They surrender to the cops. They put them in handcuffs. Then they're bringing them out of the cell. Then you got Triple H. He's absolutely livid because these two guys have been a thorn in his side since the damn pay-per-view began, and he's been trying to get rid of them. And he's like, you know what, I don't give a damn if they're in handcuffs or not. I'm still getting my licks in. And then he went to work on both of them. You had to have a couple of people pull Triple H off of them while he was whooping their ass, while they had handcuffs on, no defenses whatsoever. So Triple H is pounding down on him. You had to have a couple of guys pull Triple H off, and that's how the pay-per-view closes. This show definitely created headlines. Love the Miz and R-Truth with all of their involvement in the show, especially the ending. That was all great, and we had some entertaining matches tonight also, but I still refuse to stop complaining about this damn pay-per-view. I will not budge at all until Hell in a Cell is done. Through history, they've created heightened expectations for Hell in a Cell matches. That same history that they played off of with the promotion and the hype and the build-up for this pay-per-view. Those matches would have been great in any other element. But when you judge those two by those standards, in that respect, they fail to meet the bar of success. I can't see myself considering these matches of the year. They probably wouldn't even be remembered if it wasn't for what happened after the matches. Not during the matches, but after them. Nothing about these matches wowed me. Nothing about these matches shocked me or made my jaw drop. And that is what Hell in a Cell matches are supposed to do. Those two matches did not do that. That is why this pay-per-view has to go. And speaking of having to go, I gotta go now. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you guys for interacting with me and stuff. We were chatting on jdubshow.com during the show. We do that for every pay-per-view. We do it for episodes of Monday Night Raw too. So why don't you guys go ahead and stop in on a Monday, stop in on a Sunday when we got a pay-per-view, and check it out. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for commenting, all of that good stuff. I am J-Dub. Peace out. I'm officially announcing the Empire Strikes back-to-back lineup. The SideShow will be returning, but on a different day. It's moving from Wednesdays to Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on JWshow.com, and Pro Wrestling Talk Radio will be moving also. It's going to be taking over the SideShow's old time slot of Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on blogtalkradio.com/PWTR. The debut of the new schedule will take place September the 13th and September the 14th, and will continue, to quote Triple H, for the foreseeable future. And I have big things planned for both shows, so make sure you guys are all tuned into that, and hopefully you're looking forward to it. Yeah, because I definitely am.